Hello, my sunflowers. How are you on this bright and springy uh, February Monday morning? What is the date, baby Crone?
Today's the 24th.
And we're almost out. And of course, spring will be coming in next month. This is the last month of February. One of the things I love about February, it's going to have either 28 or 29 days.
Yes.
And it just seemed like cutting off those other 2-3 days make a world of difference.
It really does.
So anyway, this is the shortest month. I love it. And this is Black people.
Yeah,
Black History Month? I like to say Black Heritage Month.
You know what?
I think they should change it to Black Heritage and not Black. What is it?
Black History.
Not Black History, but Black Heritage, because it just seems like it deals with the diaspora and it deals with our DNA and it deals with all of that. If you say Black heritage, that means things we created, how far it's gone back, how long it is. That's what I think. So, baby Crone, please remind me that it's Black Heritage Month.
I like that because according to some other cultures that have history, heritage months, they actually say heritage and not history. So I actually do like the fact that it's almost celebrating a culture and learning.
It's about learning and talking and remembering instead of history. Drop the history that's old and get to heritage, because that is who we are. We are from the diaspora. We are as old as time itself. All of us. But since we're singling out Black people and its contributions that we made to building these United States of America, then, I think it should be Black heritage.
Yes.
Not, Black history, but Black heritage. Because that way, if you think about it, when you think about Black history, no, we do not want to forget, but it constantly reminds you of slavery. It constantly remind you of all the negative things. It just takes you so far back, even to the 60s, the 70s, the 50s, the 40s, before many of our time. But it take us back. So I think it should be called the Black Heritage Month, because that's what it's all about. Remembering not just the contributions, but what we as a people, remembering who we are as a nation of people.
Yes.
So with that being said, speaking of people and speaking of something, I found something out last week. I didn't read on it. So sometimes when I get messages or see things, I put them off, but and sometimes I change my mind. So today I'm going to talk about 2 things that has bothered me.
Okay.
The reason why I feel for Anijah Andrew, instead of her name, Robinson, because her last name is Robinson, and that is the name of my biological dad. And so I don't know if it's any relation, because you got to understand, back in those days, they named you accordingly to what the family did.
Yes.
So even though we're wide and far, names really just go back to who you are.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? No matter where you are. Because if you go to other countries, they don't have these names. They speak in a different language. They don't have African. They have African names. They have Indian names. They have Saudi Arabian names or whatever. Pakistani
names that hold tiers and levels and hierarchies.
Go ahead, baby Crone.
Just talking about how a name, even if we want to talk about the ancient times, when you think about empires, how if you had a certain last name, you were part of this dynasty. Last names really have power.
And last names also can tell you what a person's done, their ancestries. Like, especially when you deal with Judaism, even slave names like Garnett, like Dixon. I'm not sure about Robinson, but I'm sure. But these names, I can't think of them. It's so Washington. Many. Oh God, it's so
many.
It's so many. Roberts, I can't even name them all. But you see, white people and Black people share these names. So that's why I think a name says a lot.
It does.
Now, with that being said, it is allegedly, put a picture up. There is allegedly that Onaya, her name wasn't Onaya, but she was not a part of Black Ink crew, but she was, I hate to say this word, but that's what they called them. It was, oh shit, baby's mama.
Okay.
And the reason why they called him oh shit is because oh shit, it was always some kind of drama with him.
Gotcha.
And so it's curious that years later, this was back in 2000 February. Well, I just got this video. This was back in 2025. Well, no, that wasn't in 2025. She's 2025 now, and all this stuff went on.
Mm-hmm.
And she's 33 years old, and they don't know where she's at. They think that she's in they feel as though she's in Dubai, and they feel as though she's under arrest. However, in my thinking about her and really, really meditating on her, I feel as though she's in a weakened state. I feel as though she's nervous and she's raw. I still think that she's out there talking about, you know, they're going to rescue me. They're going to come for me. I don't think that any harm has come to her. However, I get the sense that she's hungry and that she's not feeling very well, that she could even be sick. I don't think that she's getting the best treatment at all, especially when you're dealing with people in these countries. You know, far as I'm concerned, and from what I've seen on TV, I've never been there. They seem to me that they brutalize not just foreigners, but you in their prison system, you get treated badly. It's not like I think in America where, I'm sure they got doctors and things like that for things to go wrong, but I can't imagine because there's such a religious country. Mm-hmm. And whenever you're dealing with religion, things get really, really dicey. So yes, and I see her, she believes that she's going to come, but she's still fussing. She still believes that Allah will save her. She feels as though she's done nothing wrong. She feels as though I'm standing up for my rights. However, I think that let this be a cautionary tale. When you go to other countries, be mindful.
Yes.
Be mindful of the things you say and the things you do. The Pakistanians call her the queen because she spoke out on what she saw and she spoke out on the conditions. And so they respect her for that. And the lady, I don't know, the blogger, I think is a Pakistani woman who started this, who put this out there. She is highly concerned about her. However, I think that this woman, I don't feel as though she's deceased, but I do think that she has been stripped of her rights. She could be in a psych ward, but wherever she is, she's certainly not in a good hit space. Okay. And as far as her physical, this is just what I feel. This is what I see. I can't prove it. I don't know, but I trust what I say. So I feel as though she's not in a good head space right now. Mm-hmm. Oh, excuse me. That was our cat that run through. Come pick her up and show it to the people.
Okay.
She lives outside in the house. This is our cat, a tailless cat. This her, no tail cat. You see it? Can they see it? Turn around to the camera. There she is. Yeah. She loves it in and out. Then the moony moo. There she go. Yeah, the movie girl. Okay, let her go outside. Okay. She's our baby girl. She's our baby. There you go. She just want to come out. She just want to go out. But she'll be back in 5 minutes because it's cold. But when the weather is warm, she's gone.
Yes.
Well, she made a grand entrance. Her name is Franny. We love animals over here.
We do.
So anyway, I don't want a bird or anything. I don't want anything that crawls and creeps. So, So anyway, back to that. Yes. So where did I leave off?
Talking about Onija, I'm wondering of the state of condition that she's in.
I still think that she's fussing. I still think that I feel as though no one has heard from her. Her son said something. No one know anything. Mm-hmm. But I truly believe she's in dire straits. I don't think that. I think that this was a lesson.
Yes.
And even though people have mental ailments, she's not the kind of mental ailments that can't rationalize.
Yeah, that's what I picked up.
You did? Go ahead, baby.
Yeah, because in my reading, I was conflicted with how I was picking up her energy, because it seemed like she was well within her mind to understand what she was doing.
She may not can control it,
right?
But
I saw that she was definitely a strong individual.
Very strong.
Even though she is detained, she still feels confident, and that she is just doing Allah's work and trying to bring justice and attention to something that she feels that needs attention.
And I truly believe that when she went over there for that young man, I truly believe that, and this card just stopped me dead in my tracks. I truly believe that when the family said no to her, I think that was shattering. Because she had been over there. So from what I don't understand, I don't know, did she ever meet the man? I'm not clear on that. But whoever get this message, if you know anything, please. I'm following this case. And like I said, I just picked up something about her, and it's a gray mouse. And so she's dealing with adaptability. Either you're going to conform, because it's not going to work for her. I'm not sure. I think she's facing up to 5 years. I'm not clear. She's looking for resourcefulness, humility. She, she doesn't have that. She has to adjust to change, and she has to also trust these people that they are doing this by instinct, and she has to find her strength to decrease in her boldness, if that's the way.
I like that.
And increase in that. So this is what I see for her. So I am definitely, I don't want to say worried, but I am concerned about her being. I don't think at this point that they would take a life. However, unfortunately, if it was another woman and she was blonde and beautiful, not saying that Anaja isn't, and blue eyes and had did this, we know that it would have spread like wildfire. And because this is a Black woman that's gone through mental, who's been in the world, who's been on TV, so she's no stick in the mud. So somehow, some way with life, she just got lost. And sometimes when you're lost, you just lost. I can't speak on that because I never felt lost. I guess we all have felt lost in ourselves in a sense, but not lost where I will go to another country and start speaking against it. That's a kind of loss. Or going to another country and threatening someone. I don't know. I think that when they did arrest her, I think it was a setup. And that is the one thing that she said. She said that they set her up. And they put her in a position where she couldn't say anything. Maybe they would have tased her. Maybe they would have hit her, whatever. Or what? Maybe they would have made her. I don't know. But she said that she was in a position where she couldn't say it because several people saw her at the airport and boarded the train and saw her. Some said it saw on all fours. Some saw what went on, but they were so far over, but they couldn't hear. So I think they kind of like muzzled her. And unfortunately, you just can't go to these countries behaving this way. This is why I don't want to visit a country that is strict on religion, because yikes, you break it, you're in trouble. And I think that this just gets to show us just how liberated we are in the States.
That is true. That is really true, honestly.
We take it for granted.
We do.
And even though we still feel as though we're still struggling with our rights, and we're still struggling with wanting freedom of speech, and we're still struggling with that, nevertheless, we still have it better than most people in other countries.
That's true. That's why everybody's trying to get in here.
Yes. So that's the story of Anija. Okay. My next story that I want to talk about here is this story has drove me crazy. I can't. I can only go by because I left the paper in the other room. Let me go get it.
Okay.
Excuse me. Keep them entertained, baby.
Okay. Well, since we're sitting here talking about news, let me just briefly talk about how over the weekend Pope Francis had a medical condition.
Yeah.
Yes, it was critical respiratory that he was going through. We'll see how this unfolds, but prayers going up to the Pope. And speaking of religious figures, actually.
Yeah. So speaking of religious people, it was somebody else. Briefly, they're saying that Taylor Swift,
Yes.
which we be reading on, you'll read on her, right?
Yes.
Which they are saying Taylor Swift and her boyfriend was
Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce may have broken up due to she went with another man. I don't know about that, but I do know this. How old is Taylor Swift? Is she 35 or 36?
Let's see. That is weird because I was just doing a reading yesterday, and Travis Kelce's name wanted to keep slipping out.
And you should have just went with it and did a quick reading on her.
Right.
But you're going to do it today or whatever. We're going to have a reading out for you about that.
Yes. Taylor Swift is
36, 35, 36.
35.
35 years old. Frankly, she's at that baby making age. She's at that clock that and time it, because she's really starting to look, if this all's true, she needs to really start thinking about her image, because she's starting to look a little hoish. You know, she goes through men like water, and it's hard to know if it's Kelsey, if it's her, because she goes through too many men, and it does not look good. It is not good at all. No. Just because you're famous and got money, this would be like this if it was your child. Every time you turn around, every couple of years, there is another man. Yes. There's another woman. You begin to question, right? Yep. And now I'm starting to wonder, do she have a problem with commitment?
She might just have a
It just seems that way. I don't know, but we're going to do a reading. You're going to do a reading, and we're going to find that information out. You got that? And like I said, clock it, because this is where she's at. She's 35. She'll be 36 years old. She's at that clock moment where your biological clock is ticking. Not saying she can't have children at 50. I'm just saying this is the peak. This is the warning. This is before the changes come. This is before you starting perimenopausal. And right now, she's still out there loose. It would be good if she just said, you know what? I don't want no children.
That's true.
I don't want to be married. Then to play the fence like she plays like this is what she wants.
She does.
But it makes me question. So, but we're going to read on her. So anyway, I saw this TV show. Well, not a TV show. It was on cable. If you could just show a little bit of it, and don't forget to put Taylor Swift's picture up for me, because sometimes I forget, and sometimes it goes up and it's not up there. That's why I cleaned it all up so it don't have no distractions. So, so if you can. So anyway, I got this thing. This was last week. I saw it. It could be old. I don't know how old it is, but this here vexed my soul, okay? Vexed my soul. And it was on Untouched TV, and it was on Untouched TV, and it's called I Prank My Boys and Precious. I Prank My Boys and Precious. Now, the prank was this African man, he put a head in the refrigerator, like a dead person, like a real head. It looked like a real human head. He puts it in the refrigerator, and he sends his sons. He starts with one of his sons, and he tells his son, go to the refrigerator, get something. But when his sons open up the refrigerator, he sees the head, and could have hurt his wrist, had a heart attack, whatever. And the father thinks it's so hilarious. He sends in his next son.
Daughter.
No, he sends in his next son, and his next son goes, or his daughter. I don't know. He does. You're right. He sends in two boys, and they both have the reaction. The funniest thing is on the comments, everyone is hailing how they all said Jesus. It puts me in a position where it's an insult because this was deliberately done by your father. So Jesus won't show up for that if there's such a thing, according to your faith. I'm not downing it, but for those that don't believe, I'm not mad at you. But for those that believe, that's your faith. But when your father set you up like that, it's real for you. But he did it for kicks, giggles, and likes. Mm-hmm. I didn't think that was funny because I grew up where I had an uncle. I was 5 when I moved to my grandmother's house. I was 5 years old. Well, I was 4, but I was turning 5. And I could have been 4. I was 4. And my birthday was that December. But nevertheless, I moved there and my uncle was the greatest freak out person. He would do things, put his eyes, like he would take the skin and flip his eyes up, put a cloth around him, a hat, and he was sitting in the hall. For me, when you come up the steps, it's a long hallway. You have to pull a string or something because you couldn't reach the light or it was dark. And it was like a hall, and he would sit in the hall. So when you turn on the light, he would be there, or you would feel him there or see him there, but you couldn't quite. So you would get close and then he would jump out and scare you, or he would just be looking dead. Either way, that traumatized me as a child. And so what I say to you, even though these are pranks, even Precious, they were traumatized. Mm-hmm. Because what do I mean? I would never trust you again to send me to a refrigerator to get something and not question, It's just a joke. What I'm going to find. So you done introduce my mind into a phobia where it wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Clearly, he didn't do stuff like this because they all act the same way. However, my uncle did it so much, I became paranoid. So I just started not trusting him. I didn't trust him. We were frightened. And so, but far as he's concerned, he is a prankster. It was funny. And to this day, I am the greatest prankster of fear of all time. I don't do it. Am I good? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm good because I was taught how to be quiet, how to lay still, how to stay in a position for so long. He plotted that. You understand? I don't know if it happened to him, but to induce your children to such a trauma, they could have got hurt. Yeah. They could have had a heart attack, whatever. He thinks this is hilarious. And to me, this is how you introduce, since they Christians, I could speak on it. This is how demonic spirits enter. They enter in when somebody, to me, that's like putting a curse on someone for your own amusement, because now that doubt, that's going to always break your faith, especially something as a dead head, a decapitated head in your refrigerator. You go to open it and it looked real. Mm-hmm. And that is not funny. I didn't find it funny. Baby Crone, can you say something?
Yes, it just is another example to prove out here why people, A, don't like prank channels, and B,
they don't like what kind of
prank channels? Like
what's that?
Like YouTube channels that like pull pranks. Especially like family or couples.
I don't find it funny
because sometimes they can really go beyond an extra for the clicks and views.
Too
exploit
much.
Their partners or children for laughs. And it gets to a point where it's not funny.
And that young man, he was on the soap. Even when the father pranked his daughter, he didn't think it was funny. He was still holding his heart. His heart was racing. This is trauma. Yeah. This is how demonic, or for me, negative energy enters. Mm-hmm. Being trauma.
Yeah.
This is why people get afraid to be in the dark.
Yes.
This is why, because people have played tricks and you're tricking the mind.
Trust issues.
With trust issues. And this is what he did. I did not find it funny. I had to say something about it. And please, if you have any comments, please leave them down below. I would love to hear your thought on that. Mm-hmm. Okay. And that's all I have to say about that. That's my little quick read. Okay. I'll be back in a second to read on something else. Do you have something to say?
Yes, I would like to cycle back because, like I said, over the weekend, Pope Francis was in the hospital, so I wanted to see how it was going this morning. And apparently he's still in critical condition with now pneumonia and kidney issues.
So he's about to fade out this world.
Yep, he's been hospitalized for 10 days.
How old is he?
Let's see. He is 88 years old.
Oh, okay.
Wow, born December 17th. And 17 is an 8.
It's an 8. Meaning he's on his way out of here.
Got them triple 8s.
He's on his way out of here. Boy, boy, boy. What a time as this to leave.
Mm-hmm. What a time.
What a time as this to leave. So let's see. This is okay. Let's see. This what showed up. Fox. Male or female, cunning, sly, detective, clever. So I don't know what to make out of that. What would you make out of that, baby Crone?
That maybe this could be he has been the fox all along, and the fox is maybe finally being revealed, like the cunningness or the deceptiveness.
What I heard about this Pope is that he was dealing away with all of the cunningness. He was coming out speaking against a lot of these things. I'm not Catholic, although I respect the faith. But I don't practice Catholicism, but I have. I've practiced the Hail Marys. I have gone to a confession, which I think is a very beautiful experience that if you haven't, I think it's good to go to one and experience a confession. But I think that he was against the status quo and that he made difference. So maybe it's saying that he was against the foxes in the vine and that he was going up against it. And now that it seemed like his time is wearing out due to his age at 88, and for him to get sick like this, we don't know his circumstances. We don't know, because many people can live on to be 90. Mm-hmm. And so, but due to his health, we don't know. It could be medication that, a lot of times you could take medicine for one thing, but it destroys another. I mean, we really need to practice in holistic medicine. What do you call it?
Yes, naturopathic.
Naturopathic. But if you practice naturopathic, you know the deal, then pharmaceutical companies will go out of business. Yep. But that's how they treat it from the earth
exactly.
And we should all of you should have a book in your house, how to treat things with herbs. Mm-hmm. What herbs to drink. Baby Crone studies this, don't you, Baby Crone?
Mm-hmm, I do. Actually, I just recently bought 2 to 3 books all about having an apothecary.
Right. And you can't see it, but we definitely much in it. Yeah. But I do have it right all up there.
Videos, you would have saw it
all up there. I got herbs and everything, keeping them fresh, everything, using them for rituals, using them for healing, just using them. Manifestation. Yep, we do have, but because, I'm thinking about moving, a lot of stuff is getting packed away. Mm-hmm. So as you see things get thinner and thinner, that's because my goal is to leave. I don't want to deal with another winter. So is there anything else you want to say?
No, I think we've covered it.
Well, we know we just send prayers going up for the Pope.
Yes.
Because I know, and that faith, it must be a very sorrowful time, because they love their Pope. Mm-hmm. And I think that he has been trying to pull the wool off a lot of things that was deceptive. I think he was an unusual Pope. And I think that he really was a Pope of the people. I truly believe that because of what the cause is. Yeah, sometimes when it comes off negative, and I do see that, I think that he was able to blend and find a balance, but I do see that right now that his days, the butterfly metamorphosis, he is going on to visit his maker, as he would believe.
Oh, okay.
The metamorphosis, isn't that it?
Yeah, that is the metamorphosis. You're right. We was talking about his health. He was talking about how he brought change, and I was like, I see it right here. This
Yeah, he
butterfly.
brought change. So the cards are trust your card.
You're right, but talking about it too, we're talking about his health. Yeah, that would make sense.
He is, and he's 88 years old. And to me, if you live to be 80, then that's a blessing.
Yes.
If you live to be 88, that's even a bigger blessing.
Yes.
You know. So, but many, you know, the baby boomers out here, many of them is in their 50s and 60s. So they are going through those stages. So all I can say, take care of yourselves.
Yes.
Take care of me. I'm taking care of me. Take care of you. If you're in your 50s and 60s, please take care of your health.
Yes.
Try to find the natural way to cure yourself, because a lot of these drugs, they cure one thing, but they destroy other parts of your body. Yes. They destroy your kidneys. They could destroy your heart, your liver, your intestines. Yep. So be careful of the medication. And sometimes some people, some baby boomers are on, their parents are on so much medication that it's affecting them. So please be careful of what you take. Mm-hmm. Anything else you want to say?
Nope, I think that's it.
So I think that's it for now. I'll be right back. So this is the end of this segment. So I'll be right back. And with that, if you got this far, please give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed and you like our
commentary,
yes, you like our points of view, or you like our rhetoric, if you like it, please subscribe. And with that, you know what we say. We love you, and we thank you for watching. Sunflowers.